Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Napoleon, and today we are back with another Enlisted video, and today we're going to be covering one of the jets. And to be exact, today we're going to be covering the Su-9. This Soviet jet is one of the most interesting jets in history and in-game. And without further ado, let's get started with the video. In this video, we're going to be covering the history, the stats, and what I think of this plane. And let's get started. The Su-9 was a Soviet twin-engine jet fighter developed in 1944 by the Sukhoi Bureau. This is likely influenced by the Me-262. The Su-9, not to be confused with the other Su-9, was the original design feature on a metal monoscope fuselage bubble canopy and a cockpit with an ejection seat protection model after the Heinkel 162. It was also the first Soviet jet aircraft with hydraulic power controls. Originally intended to use the TR-1 turbojets, delays led to the use of the RD-10 engines. These were of course copied from the German Jumbo 004 engines. The aircraft has a high wing loaded for speed, but required a JATO unit with a braking parachute and a managed takeoff and landing. Its armor included one 37mm N-37 and two 20mm NS-23 cannons, with optional bomb loadouts. The first prototype flew on November 13th of 1946 and showed good flight characteristics, but issues with control forces and stability. Later improvements with a larger tail and hydraulic boosters caused it to be a much better prototype. Despite successful testing and a public debut in August of 1947, the Su-9 was slower than its rival fighters such as the MiG-9 and the Yak-15 and was not approved for production. There was another version of this plane, and that is the Su-9UT, which was a two-seat training variant. This was planned but never built, and the Su-9 project was ultimately terminated in 1948 after completing 136 test flights. That said, let's move on to the stats. The Su-9 has a crew of one, has one single 500-kilogram bomb, one single 37mm cannon with 40 rounds, and two 23mm cannons with 200 rounds. This means that this is one of the better attack planes as of right now. For those who don't know, this is compared to the German Me-262, the tech-free version, not the premium version, and is actually pretty decent. Besides the fact that almost everything is similar, especially the maximum turn speed and the best turn time, the main difference could be seen with a single 37mm cannon and a two 23mm cannon swapping out for four 30mm cannons. In my personal opinion and in practice, I feel like this is much worse compared to the Me-262, but also comparable in multiple ways. For example, the 37mm cannons and 23mm cannons are really good at throwing HE at your opponents for some reason. These are really good at taking out clumps of infantry, but they're not as good as taking out the planes as compared to four 30mm cannons from the Me-262. Unlike the Me-262, the 37 and the 23mm cannons appear to just do HE damage on the plane, which usually results in ripping the wings off, but at the same time not really doing a lot of damage, or in some cases taking out a lot of enemy pilots, but at the same time not really taking out the interior. It's really finicky if you ask me regarding these two guns, the 37 and the 23mm guns. That said, this plane, like the Me-262, is really designed for attack. What I mean by that is that go in a straight line, turn in a straight line, and do not attempt to dogfight at your best of your ability. Of course, if you think you can dogfight and take out the plane, try to do so, but the issue is this plane, because of the abysmal turn time, even when fully upgraded, means that you really cannot turn. The 37 and 23mm guns are really good at taking out ground targets, hence I really suggest that you do that. That said, without further ado, this is all it for this video. The Su-9 historically is a pretty interesting plane, and this is a really good attack fighter compared to the Me-262. But that said, that is all it for this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join the Discord. Comment in the comment section down below of what you think of this plane, and I'll see you in the next one.